Local radio for local people.
It's all here for you. Traffic and travel. What's on guide? Great songs and great memories on Gravity FM.
Your community, your radio, 97.2.
Gravity.
Gravity FM.
Alongside me, that's hardly surprising, is it?
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, I suppose so. Taking away the first two games on this season, we're just struggling to stick in the back of the net at the moment. But hopefully, we'll be reaping some rewards for the second half.
Hakan Burton, the Curzon goalkeeper, hasn't really been troubled by the Grantham forwards, but at the other end, Jake Turner hasn't been overly stretched, but he certainly needed to be in the right place 2 or 3 times to keep it level.
That's right. Yeah, it's a good positional saves. I say not overused at the moment, but we'd like to keep it that way. But still got to keep concentration levels up, so hopefully the action will be at the other end of the ground.
My colleague alongside me, Imran Mir, described it halfway through the first half as been a bit like a chess game, and it seemed to be developing that way. Curzon playing some nice passing football through the midfield. Grantham's town mayor in Selby there, introducing himself to the second half, probably drowning myself and Dave out completely. I was saying there that Curzon have played some nice passing football in the centre of midfield, working it through to the front players, while Grantham have tried to hit the channels, but haven't really been able to pick out either Greg Smith or Jordan Hempenstall.
No, that's right, Graham. Curzon have played it quite nicely along the ground. We've been hitting longer balls. Take Greg's been out on the left-hand side a little bit. Done a bit of huffing and puffing, but hopefully it'll come good this half.
I'll run through the lineups for you now as our referee, Mr. Richardson, just about to start. For the Gingerbreads in goal, it's Jake Turner. The back four is Sam Persico, Scott Matthews, Tom Batchelor and Phil Watt. In midfield, it's Laurie Wilson, Jack McGovern and Michael Towie, and up front Jordan Hempenstall, Greg Smith and Ben Fairclough. For Curzon in goal, it's Hakan Burton. Across the back, Chris Romney, Darren Thornton, Jonathan Hunt and Andrew Watson. In midfield, Alex Brown, Andy Watson, Sam Walker and Ryan Brook, and their front two, Niall Cummins and Matthew Warburton. The Gingerbreads playing now from left to right as myself and Dave sit here in the main stand. Jake Turner away to our left in a purple goalkeeping kit. At the right hand side, Curzon Ashton in a more traditional goalkeeping kit, Dave.
I think so, yeah, he's in all green. The purple certainly makes your eyes hurt a little bit.
It's not quite as bright as many that we've seen down here over the years, but it's nice to see the Gingerbreads out in black and white stripes. As a fairly scrappy start to the second half, very much as we saw in the first half. The ball bouncing around a little bit in the centre of the pitch there, and ending up with Curzon been given a free kick. And the first half was punctuated with a lot of stoppages, Dave.
There was, yeah. Niggly little fouls here and there. Not flowing too well the game for the first half. See how we go this half.
But Curzon at the moment trying to break down the Grantham right hand side. Matthew Warburton holding the ball up and playing it back to Chris Rowney, but Rowney's cross was far too long, and Jake Turner just able to watch that curl over his crossbar and out for a goal kick. Sent the ball boy chasing all the way over to the fence on the far side to come back with the ball. And this is something that frustrates opposition sides more than home sides at the Mears, that the ball is out of play for a long time.
Because it slows the game down a lot, with it being an athletic stadium rather than a football ground, if you like, and poor old boys are a long old slog fetching that ball back, especially when it's windy.
There's times when slowing the ball down is the game down is good, as Greg Smith heads the ball on and Ben Fairclough closes in on Jonathan Hunt, but Curzon's Jonathan Hunt clearing the ball over the crossbar there with just 2 minutes of the second half gone. A corner for the Gingerbreads. It was a good flicked header there from Greg Smith, but this time Ben Fairclough read very, very well, got in on the end of it, but it was Jonathan Hunt choosing to clear it as the corner comes in, this time to the far post. Phil Watt heads it goalward, and Hakan Burton just able to comfortably watch that go past the post. That was a different corner from the Gingerbreads, Dave. In the first two games in the first half, everything that Grantham has hit has been very, very close to the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper has been able to comfortably take it. That one beyond the far post, swapping things up a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of near post stuff as well, especially first half, and I think the Curzon defenders found it quite easy to clear the lines. Say that one back post, a bit more to think about for their back line.
The goal kick taken by Burton out into the centre of the field, and Jack McGovern plays it down the Grantham right. Jordan Hempenstall closing Darren Thornton down, giving him no time to settle on the ball, but Curzon playing some neat football to open the play up and give Thornton the chance to clear long up to the halfway line, where Phil Watt is able to get his head on the ball. But the Gingerbreads looking to get control of the game in this second half, which is something that they didn't have at all in the first half, as Ben Fairclough turns a player just inside the Curzon half and is then tripped, and referee Mr. Richardson immediately goes straight to his pocket, gets the yellow card. the Gingerbreads looking to get control, and that's Chris Rowney there going in the book, Dave.
A little bit, Mr. Rowney. Who knows what might happen? But good running from Ben again.
And it was one of those tackles that it was not a malicious one. It was late, and Fairclough taken down, and there it is, that yellow card coming out for the second time for a Curzon player, and that's Laurie Wilson taking the free kick. I've got a bit of it deep into the penalty area, and this time Philpott goes up with Hacken Burton, and Burton claims the cross. Now I've got a little bit of a problem with a couple of the Grantham players at the moment, Dave. Laurie Wilson and Jack McGovern, both playing in the centre of midfield. For my mind, their hairstyles are too similar.
Well, at least they've got some hair. Some of us can't say too much about that one, can they? Yeah, we can tell them apart by the numbers. That's about it.
That is, and if you're able to see the arms of the two players in their short sleeve shirts, Laurie Wilson has got a tattoo running from just below his elbow up underneath his sleeve, and McGovern doesn't have that adornment. Phil Watt clearing the ball from a long kick from Burton. It's head tennis at the moment as Sam Persico just in front of us gets stuck in against Matthew Warburton. Warburton battling with Persico now as Curzon win the ball and try and push it through the Gingerbreads defence. Ryan Brook playing that on for Niall Cummins, but that was very well covered by McGovern, who dropped back deep and denied Cummins the chance to settle on the ball and put the ball out for a throw-in. The throw-in just in front of us to our left, outside the Grantham penalty area, and it's a good throw that finds it's a goal for Curzon. A long throw by Darren Thornton. It was just caught the Grantham defence completely on the hop. A free man in the Gingerbreads penalty area turned into to the back of the net, and the Gingerbreads trailing. And I'm not quite sure who put that in there, Dave.
So a goal out of nothing. Wasn't expecting that coming from the throw-in. Caught us cold a little bit there.
But it just dropped beyond the Grantham defence before the Gingerbreads had settled, and was turning. I'm trying to look by the colour of the boots.
I think it's number 3. I think it was number 3.
It was definitely 3 with the. It was Thornton with the throw, and it was Andy Watson, I think, who turned that one in there. But poor defending by the Gingerbreads.
It was slack from the throw-in. Switched off a little bit there. Credit to Curzon. Caught us on the hop.
It certainly did, Dave, and now Grantham have got to come out and have got to put the visitors under pressure, and the scoreline now today matching the scoreline from Curzon's first 2 games, both ending up in 1-0 victories for the visitors.
When they're not considered a goal this season, full credit to them. Hopefully we can do something about that this afternoon. We're going to have to now. We're going to get some points on the board.
And that 1 point that Grantham have got so far is something that the Gingerbreads certainly need to add to as Curzon attack down the right flank, and it's Grantham just looking a little bit all at 6s and 7s at the moment as the ball's put in beyond the far post, and Scott Matthews comes to close that out as Sam Walker, the Curzon captain, looks to set something up, but a poor ball. Sam Persico able to clear it. The Gingerbreads need to recover now, Dave. Where do Grantham need to get hold of the game, do you think?
I think they'd settle down a bit and just get the foot on the ball a little bit and just take the sting out of their game. I think we could do a bit more playing to feet. So we're going to hold the ball, use Greg's ability to hold the ball up and see if we can get the wide men doing their jobs. But we just need to gather our thoughts a little bit here and hopefully get this goal back sooner rather than later.
And putting the foot on the ball in midfield in the second half is something that Grantham didn't do particularly well on Tuesday night against Barwell, as Thornton throws the ball back in, receives it back from Warburton, plays it back to the halfway line. Curzon have been playing some nice passing football all 45 minutes so far in the game, playing it about quite nicely, but not putting the Gingerbreads under too much pressure. Although Jake Turner has had to make some saves there. Grantham now trying to play the ball out down the left-hand side. It's with Scott Matthews, but it's Curzon's turn to start closing the game down now and deny the Gingerbreads time. Something that Grantham always want to do is to deny the opposition time, Dave. But in the first half, Curzon seem to find that space.
They do, yeah. They just runs a little bit ragged at the moment as well. They're passing and moving it quite well. They're having a couple of touches each player and moving it very well. They're just come from the far side of the pitch to the near side now, just with 3 or 4 passes.
The centre of midfield,
well.
The Curzon centre of midfield, Alex Brown and Sam Walker, they just seem to always have a pass on.
Yeah, they do, and there's players available for them all the time. So just a couple of touches, they're looking quite lively. Anyway,
Ben Fairclough there just nipping in and robbing Darren Thornton, and that gives Jordan Hempinstall now the chance to break. Hempinstall held up a little bit by the Curzon defence, and it's back with Laurie Wilson. A low shot from Laurie Wilson, hit from distance by Wilson, but well saved by Hacken Burton, having to move a little bit to his left there. That was a great strike, Dave.
Good strike, good save too. The keeper looks very safe with his handling, but yeah, it's a bit more promising at the moment.
It certainly was a good strike from Wilson. He was set up nicely there by Hempinstall. Keeping that kind of a drive down is always difficult, but he did it well. But it's the ball back in the Gingerbreads half again as Curzon Ashton playing it about. Blue shirts just looking to create a little bit of space, keep the ball as they are doing, playing it back into the Grantham half and then forward again through Andy Watson. A run down the Gingerbreads left that's well intercepted by Scott Matthews, and he brings Grantham out and tries to pick up Hempinstall, but Jonathan Hunt cuts the ball out, plays it into to the penalty area, but Tom Batchelor across for the Gingerbreads, covering and clearing, and it's a throw-in for Curzon on the far side. One of the things that the Gingerbreads have been missing in their opening games, Dave, is Rhys Lewis's presence in midfield. Now, Michael Towie and Jack McGovern, great footballers, but at times when you want to be able to put that foot in and really boss midfield, they're not necessarily that kind of a player.
No, that's true. Rhys is better at that job, and unfortunately I think he's been getting married just lately, so probably not quite a match fit at the moment, but he's the sort of chap that can do that job for us. Well,
Rhys is sat in front of us to the right, having arrived back in the country this morning, but his presence would certainly be an addition to the Gingerbreads. Maybe available to play on Monday at Frickley, as Jordan Hempinstall wins a free kick for Grantham, coming back off the front line to try and pick up a clearance and being fouled 8 to 10 yards inside the Grantham half.
Yeah, just going back to Rhys, I'm sure he'll be pushing for his place for the next game or two. It's good to have the competition for the places, so hopefully he'll be up and around match fitness very shortly.
Hempinstall there just allowing the ball to run out on the far side for a throw-in for Grantham. Scott Matthews coming forward to take it, taking it a good 20-30 yards behind where it could have been taken, but finding Laurie Wilson unmarked. Wilson and Ben Fairclough exchange passes, and Wilson then pushes it out right to Sam Persico. Ball running underneath his foot there as the opportunity for Sam to have got Grantham going down the line goes, and it ends up being another throw-in for Curzon. It's taken quickly. Thornton forward to Andy Watson, but Watson's ball this time not good enough, and Phil Watt is able to bring it down and launch a ball over the top for Ben Fairclough to now challenge Thornton away at the corner flag to our right-hand side, twisting and turning, beating Thornton, moving into the penalty area, taking on another defender, trying to squeeze a shot off, but not able to get his foot round the ball, and it's out with Greg Smith on the far side. Smith back to McGovern. Good chasing back there by Ryan Brook in the blue shirt, allows Curzon to relieve the pressure and bring the ball out, but a poor touch there from Niall Cummins as he came back into his own half. Puts the visitors back under pressure. This is better stuff now from Grantham, Dave.
Yeah, good run from Ben there again. He's looking very, very lively. Hopefully he can use his pace to get down that wing and bear some fruits later on. But yeah, he's looking very good. Giving them plenty to think about down the wings is Ben.
And Sam Persico winning the ball as Curzon look to bring it out, but now just holding it just inside their own half, keeping it on the floor, playing their short passing game, but it falls down on the right hand side as Scott Matthews is able to get in, the Gingerbreads left back, and play Tom Batchelor in, and Matthews and Batchelor bring the ball away. Batchelor spreading it across the field to Persico, and Persico hits the channel, and again it's Fairclough taking on Darren Thornton. Looked as though the Curzon defender there had an arm on the back, but the assistant, who's been fairly good, it has to be said, Dave, was right in front of that.
He was, I thought he was in for a free kick there, but not to be said, the assistant's well placed, so fair play. But say Ben is still looking lively down there. I think we could have some success down there with a bit of luck.
I think that's the first time we've heard the referees whistle in about 3 or 4 minutes there as he gives Curzon a free kick. Niall Cummins fouled by Tom Batchelor as the pair battled for the ball, and a quick free kick from Curzon sees them moving down the Grantham left, the Curzon right, bringing it inside to Alex Brown. Alex Brown picks out Matthew Warburton looking to open up. Batchelor gets a shooting chance low to Jake Turner's left, but good positioning from the Grantham goalkeeper, just able to go down and comfortably take that shot.
Yeah, good save, well held as well. There's one or two sniffing for the rebound there, so well done to Jake there, good save.
but that's indicative of the way that Curzon play. Patient, passing football, and waiting until the opportunity arose. That was almost one of those moments at the back there where you take your eye off the ball for a second, because it looks as though it's nice and comfortable for the defence, as it was. But Andrew Watson, we need to make sure we get this right this half, David, don't we? Andrew Watson, the centre half, almost heading it past Hack and Burton, but Burton able to gather the ball and clear long. Now, Andrew Watson and Andy Watson, that's going to confuse us all afternoon, isn't it, Dave?
That's right, and I've got a cousin called Andrew Watson.
He's not out there today, though.
I don't think so. No, he's probably a little bit rotund for this one, I think.
13 minutes gone in the second half here at the Mears. You're with Gravity FM on 97.2. Live commentary of the Gingerbreads. Grantham Town at home to Curzon Ashton, and it's Grantham trailing by a goal to nil, but looking to get back into it. Sam Persico, who scored last Saturday at Blythe, coming forward onto a crossfield pass, not quite able to take that one in, and Grantham work it back across the left-hand side. Scott Matthews tries to take his man on, but loses the ball. Curzon have dropped 10 men deep, so the Gingerbreads are able to pick that up quite nicely, and that's played by I think that was Jack McGovern to Persico. Yes. Persico out again to Fairclough, and then back inside to Laurie Wilson. It was actually Wilson delivers a cross in for Michael Towie, but it's just behind the Gingerbreads midfielder, and Curzon are able to clear. There's a big gap in the centre of the midfield there, Dave, where there were just 3 blue shirts in, and that's where Grantham are losing the game. That's
true. We was discussing that at the first half, and on the terraces actually there is a big hole there. We could do with a man in there and just fill it in a little bit, because they're getting plenty of possession there, and Curzon, they're keeping it well. They're not trying to go backwards to go forwards, as it were, as well, so they're playing some good control football and making Grantham chase a little bit.
This 4-3-3 that the Gingerbreads are playing at the moment relies on a player in the hole actually getting in there and picking that kind of a ball up. Now, when you've got 3 forwards, as Grantham have, performing that roles, do you think that's one of the things, Dave, that makes it difficult for, or that creates that gap?
I think it does, yeah. I mean, it's a fine line between getting a man in that middle there, or do we push with the extra forward? But yeah, Curzon get some joy in that middle there, and have done all game so far.
Because Ben Fairclough, as you said, is causing them problems against Darren Thornton, but that then just doesn't have anybody then in that hole behind the front two. A throw from Curzon down the left hand side, tangling there between Niall Cummins and Phil Watt, but Grantham clearing the ball, a poor clearance from Jake Turner, that the Gingerbreads are lucky to get away with that one a little bit. But Curzon, with their passing game, have now begun to get back on top of Grantham, with the Gingerbreads having reacted to going a goal behind.
Yeah, we're trying to push forward. We're trying to play a little bit more football now as well. It seems to be a bit more on the ground. Unfortunately, tack's just broken down there.
It was a good ball forward there from Greg Smith. Greg shows a deft touch every once in a while, and that was certainly one of them, knocking the ball over the top for Jordan Hempenstall. But it ended up being a header from Hempenstall from 18 yards out, and those are always very difficult to get enough power on to trouble a goalkeeper.
They are indeed. I mean, Greg's got a good touch for. He's quite a big fella, but he's got some good skills.
A long clearance from Hacken Burton there. Phil Watt winning the ball in the air, but scrappy in the centre of midfield, in the centre circle, and Curzon's Andrew Watson just putting a long high ball forward. Curzon are holding it now on the Gingerbreads defence, but Phil Watt getting a foot in, but not able to keep the ball in play.
Yeah, Watt's playing well. He's not missed a lot today. Unfortunately, the ball has gone out, but in the air he's won just about everything today. So we keep that up.
As he did on Tuesday night against Barwell.
He did, yes. He's been playing very well all season. Good to see him back in a black and white shirt.
Now the Gingerbreads are a little bit more alert this time, as Darren Thornton takes another throw for the visitors, and their attack breaks down on Laurie Wilson just by the corner flag. Phil Watt trying to get the ball clear and does find Ben Fairclough. Fairclough gets away from Thornton, but not able to keep the ball in play, and it's another throw for the visitors. In front of us on the Grantham right, the Curzon left-hand side. Thornton this time taking it short to Alex Brown, and then back to Thornton. Brown again, turning inside, looking for a player. No one there at all. So it's back to the Curzon back line, and then Curzon playing what's very much a Grantham ball, trying to put it in the channels, and Phil Watt able to get it clear. Head tennis in the centre circle. As Curzon come forward now with their captain Samuel Walker, picks out Matthew Warburton. Warburton though is tracked back by Sam Persico. Good defending by Persico, ensuring that the Gingerbreads earn the goal.
Got a goal kick, deflection back off him. Yeah, well tracking back from Sam.
Sam Persico has been one of the consistent players for the Gingerbreads over the last 3 years. He's now made, I think it's just over 200. This is his 200th appearance, I think, for Grantham.
Well, good. Hopefully we'll be around for a lot longer. But yeah, he's a good player.
The Aids player is, yes, 80 Speed's club appearance record could be under threat, but not for a good few years to come yet.
Not for a week or two.
We just saw there Ben Fairclough chasing in on a bouncing ball that was always the goalkeeper's ball. There's a height difference of, I'd say, probably about 18 inches between Ben Fairclough and Burton, and he was never really going to trouble him with that one.
Not really, no. A bit of a trouble, that one. Falls a bit playing the feet.
The Gingerbreads earning. Did he give that as a throw?
Throw in,
yeah.
Ball went out and back in again, I think.
It did you absolutely right there, Dave. I was watching the battle going on between Phil Watt and Niall Cummings, and in actual fact the assistant was flagging for a throw 30 yards up, so Persico throws the ball back into play as the Gingerbreads midway along the touchline, trying to keep pressure on that Curzon defence, but Curzon relieving it by earning a throw in, and that was off Sam Persico.
Yeah, got a foot in there, Sam. It looks like he's working hard. Looks a bit red faced from here. But, we could just do it up in the game a little bit now, because we've not really had a chance this half. So hopefully we can push on.
And Grantham didn't have too many clear chances at all in the first half either. I think we mentioned earlier that Hack and Burton didn't have a save to make.
No, not really. We've had a couple of shots just a little bit too high. Hopefully we've been working a bit harder this half, and I've just got to keep going. I mean, there's a long way to go yet, and one goal's nothing really.
But the formation that the Gingerbreads are playing, that 4-3-3, can end up being quite a narrow formation as Curzon tried to get Niall Cummins in, but Phil Watt covering back. It can be quite narrow up front if you haven't got the movement that Jordan Hempenstall's just shown, moving out to the right hand side, picking the ball up and just jockeying for position, taking on two. Bursting through, and Michael Towie picking the ball up, but stepped out by Jonathan Hunt from the Curzon back line. But Phil Watt putting the ball back into Scott Matthews. Matthews managed to keep that in, but gave possession away, and has allowed Curzon to start to build and try and play a ball over the top. But Tom Batchelor, it was a decent enough ball over the top down the line because it forced Batchelor to give away a throw-in.
That's right, yeah, they gained about 50-60 metres from that. Gingerbreads were slightly on the attack. I mean, Jordan's looking quite lively up front. I think it could do with the goal just to boost his confidence as well. I think we're well away there. He's had a couple of half chances this afternoon, not managed to hit the target though, but hopefully it's coming.
We've had 20 minutes of the second half gone here at the Mears, and the Gingerbread substitutes all sat on the bench at the moment. But what options have Jimmy Albans and Wayne Harcrow got to change this game around, Dave?
Well, Alex Simmons, when he came on in the week, he played pretty well. Looked like that. I mean, it might be something we have to look at. Because, let's say, this half we've not really created that shot, but not really had many chances as such, clear-cut chances, so something might have to be done, but you think might be a bit of activity on the bench soon. But
there's not been a lot at either end, to be fair, as Jake Turner, apart from that goal, he hasn't been really tested, that one shot. So it's in terms of shots, it's been fairly even as Curzon are playing the ball about nicely, bringing it across their back line, looking for the option to open Grantham up, and there is a lot of movement around as their back line. It's Jonathan Hunt now playing it back to Burton. Burton brings it across to the left hand side to Andrew Watson. Watson steps out, big board centre half, stepping forward and knocking the ball over the top for Matthew Warburton. Warburton holds and turns it back, which is what most players have been doing when the ball's been played in for them. Ben Fairclough though getting in and winning the ball back for the Gingerbreads as Warburton overplayed it. I think that's been one of the features from both sides, Dave. Whenever the ball's been played into a forward player, they've tended to turn back away from goal rather than take the defender on straight away.
They have, yeah. There's been a lot of back to goal stuff. I suppose Jordan Hemsell's about the only one that's really had a sort of run at them from both sides, really. But most of it's back to goal and bring it back into play. So hopefully someone can show a bit of dynamism.
The Gingerbreads now, though, have got the chance to put that Curzon defence under pressure. Greg Smith fouled 40 yards out on the left-hand side. A bit of an unnecessary foul, really. Andy Watson this time putting a foot in as the ball came into to Smith. So it's now going to be Jack McGovern with the free kick. He's going to curl this into the Curzon penalty area. It's floated up. Michael Tower gets a header on it, but his header came off a blue head. Didn't see the deflection myself, but it's a corner to the Gingerbreads, and we'll see which style of corner Grantham go for this time, sticking it under the bar or deep.
Yeah, we'll see. I think it's a cheap free kick really. It's a good opportunity now to knock this in the box, and let's see what Jack can do. We've gone short this time.
Grantham certainly changing it up with the corners. Short back to McGovern. McGovern drops it back into the Curzon 6-yard box. There's a lot of blue and black and white shirts, and eventually it's the blue shirts that hack it clear.
Yeah, could have dropped anywhere that one. But they're varying these corners up. It's giving them something to think about. So hopefully we'll get something soon.
It was certainly one of those that could go anywhere, and McGovern now playing it back to Wilson. Wilson dropping it in again into the Curzon penalty area, but an offside flag up this time. As I think looking at where the assistant's pointing and who was doing the running from there, it must have been centre half Phil Watt.
I think it was, yeah.
It was in the offside position, and it's Hacken Burton who'll be able to clear long. Grantham not letting them bring it out short, but when Burton is kicking it long, he's usually finding a blue head. Yeah,
he is, and there's one there as well, a little glancing header from their right winger. I see there's a bit of activity on the bench now as well, Graham, just speaking about that, so perhaps I must have read your mind.
That looks like it is indeed Alex Simmons who's putting his shirt on, getting ready to come on. 23 minutes gone in this second half, so midway through. Grantham not looking as though they're going to break down that tight Curzon defence that so far has avoided conceding any goals in the Evo Stick Northern Premier League, as they Curzon take a throw in and try and roll the ball across the Gingerbreads penalty area, but not enough purchase on it, and Jake Turner will set that up for a goal kick. But Alex Simmons has come on in the last two games, Dave. You've seen both of those games, and he's shown some good pace.
He has indeed, yeah. He's looking live. I don't know who he's going to come on for, but if Ben Fairclough stays on, we could have tricky wingers down and fast wingers down both sides of the pitch. We're interested to see who is going to make way for Alex Simmons.
You probably don't remember Alex Simmons' father playing for the Gingerbreads. I'm not sure that you were watching too many Grantham games at that time. I certainly do, and a few others will. And Alex shows an awful lot more pace than his dad Tony did.
I think he's had a nickname, didn't he?
Yeah. Shortening Simmons gives you Simo, but in Tony's case, it was certainly more a case of sumo than
That's what I'm led to believe. Yeah.
He's actually here today.
You better be careful what you're saying there.
Hopefully he's not listening to us. The substitutions look as though they're going to be made now. Jimmy Albans is stood up, and Dion Michael also looks as though he'll be coming on, but no, substitutions not being made. It's a free kick to Curzon, just 10 yards inside the Grantham half, chipped into the penalty area, and Tom Batchelor able to head that clear, but only heading it clear as far as Warburton, who then picks out Alex Brown. Alex Brown spreads it out to the Curzon right, the Grantham left. It's chipped into the penalty area. It's a floated cross that'll be comfortable for Sam Persico, and he can pick out Fairclough. Fairclough now just approaching halfway, taking on Thornton, comes inside, looks to pick out Jordan Hempenstall, and Curzon are able to clear the ball, and it's another free kick, this time again to Curzon. Now here come the substitutions. So we've got Alex Simmons and Dion Michael. Dion Michael, who only got back from holiday in time for one training session on Thursday, he's coming on for Tom Batchelor, and Alex Simmons is coming on for Jordan Hempenstall.
That's right. Yeah. So we'll see what Alex can do up front. Whether we'll switch Greg to the middle a bit more, I don't know. We're looking for flick-ons. We'll see how we go. Fresh legs out.
Those two substitutions for the Gingerbreads in terms of formation and style of play shouldn't change anything at all.
No, I think we'll keep going as we are, certainly for the next few minutes. But find it difficult to break this Curzon team down and see why they've not conceded any goals.
Yep, Curzon have just spread the play, and a mistake there by Scott Matthews on the left-hand side allowed Curzon in, but there was no power on the shot, and Turner just gathered it comfortably. Grantham again trying to attack through Ben Fairclough, but you can see now that the Curzon midfield are giving more support now to Darren Thornton, and on that last run of Fairclough forced him inside rather than allowing him just to run straight at the fullback as they were earlier in the half.
Yeah, I don't think they want to get their fullback isolated with Ben, because they know they can beat him for speed, so they're trying to get a bit more cover by making him come inside.
Talking of beating for speed there, Sam Persico able to just beat the Curzon forward, get the ball to Jack McGovern, but it was just I wouldn't say it was a hopeful long ball, but there was no great pace on the ball that McGovern delivered there.
No,
and,
not really.
and Andrew Watson able just to comfortably win that in front of Greg Smith.
It was a bit of a punt, wasn't it? I mean, I know he didn't really have really anywhere to go, but it was more hopeful than anything else, I think.
The Curzon back line are probably sitting 15-20 yards inside their own half, so they're not giving Grantham a lot of space to try and play that ball in behind them to get a player running in on goal.
That's right. I think it's going to take a bit of individual brilliance to sort of break these down the way things are going at the moment. I mean, they're looking at a good solid unit all round.
That individual brilliance doesn't look as though it's coming from anywhere. Greg Smith though wins a header, but Ben Fairclough giving away a lot of inches again to Andrew Watson, unable to get a header. Phil Watt though just puts a long ball forward, and Fairclough goes up with Hacken Burton, but again the Curzon goalkeeper just able to easily take that.
Excellent handling again. Yeah, he's looking very sharp, that goalkeeper. Not put a foot wrong, and say good handling, not dropping a thing at all.
It looks as though the Gingerbreads are going to make a third substitution, and that looks to me as that's Liam Dickens as Alex Simmons turns away from Chris Rowney, but then he's fouled by a combination of Rowney and Alex Brown, just 10 yards into the Curzon half. Simmons turned the men very, very well there. I don't know why Matthews is trying to take that free kick on the halfway line. There's a good 10 yards you can have there on that.
Move it up a bit, yeah. Won't be cheating with this one, and a chance to maybe put it in the box.
There certainly is. Although Curzon have held a very good line. They're holding the line at the moment on the edge of the D, which is, as Dave and I remember from Sunday and Saturday football days, is a great place to hold your line as long as you don't give too much space away. As Laurie Wilson puts it into the penalty area, Dion Michaels up, and his header goes just a yard or two wide of the post. Michaels' first involvement in the game, and it almost brought Grantham level.
Yeah, very nearly a telling touch there, but that's encouraging. Get the ball in the box there like that, and if you use Dion's height, who knows? But yeah, very encouraging that.
And we've got 15 minutes now for the Gingerbreads to rescue something from this game. But just at the moment, Dave, the Grantham back line, and I'm sure that this will be proved to be wrong in a minute, the Grantham back line are preventing from Curzon from getting shots in.
That's right, yeah, there's been very few shots on our goal since they did score that goal. So Watts is not missed a thing in the air. We're down as well. I don't expect to win too much in the air.
A little dink ball forward there from Greg Smith that almost got Ben Fairclough in. Phil Watt there giving away a foul midway in the Grantham half. Not happy with the refereeing decision, but he certainly went over the top there of Niall Cummins as the Gingerbreads make their third substitution. Michael Towie coming off, and it's Liam Dickens who's coming on, another player who's been away for the last couple of games, but Dickens showed some good touches in pre-season.
He did, yeah, so he looked very lively. Hopefully he's got plenty to give in this game in the remaining time. We've got a quarter of an hour plus any stoppage time.
And I think it's that kind of player. He is more of a battling midfielder, as Darren Thornton puts a free kick, tries to catch Jake Turner out. Turner had come 5-6 yards off his line, looking for the ball to have been floated in just outside his 6-yard box. Thornton trying to catch him out and hit it into the top corner, overhitting it. No worries for Grantham.
Yeah, crafty attempt, good effort, and so good awareness, because Jake had come straight off his line a bit.
A flick header there from Greg Smith. Sees Alex Simmons in, and Simmons has equalised for the Gingerbreads. 31 minutes gone in the second half. Goal kick from Jake Turner all the way down to Greg Smith. Greg Smith just getting that flicked header on, and Simmons showing great pace, composure, and a poked finish past Hacken Burton. It's Grantham 1, Curzon Ashton 1.
Yeah, great flick on from Greg there. Alex used his pace there, they took it in. Credit to the management there for a fab substitution. Yeah, 1-1, all to play for. Fantastic.
So
the mayor's gone mad.
The mayor has gone absolutely mad here, and you won't hear him again for the rest of the half. As
we'll tell you all about that tomorrow on his show.
The mayor was celebrating that goal. The clapper of his bell went flying out. Unfortunately, though, Ian has managed to find it. The Gingerbreads pulling level, and now with just under 15 minutes to go, Grantham will want to push on and try and get all 3 points now. But that was exactly what the Gingerbreads have been looking for all game.
That's right, Graham. Yeah, it's good flick on from Greg, and take good pace by Alex, and take the first goal they conceded. Might unsettle them a little bit. Hopefully push on, and who knows, might get a winner. All to play for.
Not only was it good run from Alex Simmons getting on the header, but it was a good finish as well, as Burton came out off his line, but Simmons just showed a little bit of his dad's calmness in front of goal, just to poke that one in.
Excellent composure, yeah, because it soon plays out wide anywhere, but yeah, just a little tap, and Jimmy Greaves style passed it to the back of the net. Didn't have to take the net off.
It certainly
all good stuff.
It certainly didn't take the net off, Dave. I think it only just rolled over the line.
I think it did, yeah.
They all count once they're in there.
They do. No need for goal line technology. It's a goal.
But Curzon, though, they will want to get back onto their passing game as soon as they possibly can. But if the Gingerbreads can get their game going, of closing down, which is exactly what Grantham tried to do.
That's right.
Close down, get on the front foot, stop the opposition from playing that passing game, and as you say, Dave, could unsettle the visitors.
Exactly. Don't give them any time on the ball. You know, we've got all the substitutions on there, so we've got some fresh legs on there. We've just won the ball in midfield.
And Jack McGovern there doing exactly what we were saying, robbing Alex Brown by chasing it down.
Yeah, we look a little bit sharper now, a little bit quicker, half a yard quicker, and I say it might have unsettled Curzon a little bit, conceding the goal. They're not used to this now, so hopefully we can push on and who knows? Might be the winner.
Another free kick for Grantham. It's quickly taken by Scott Matthews. He found Fairclough. Fairclough trying to create the chance to cross the ball. He's out on the touchline. Picks it very nicely inside to Matthews. Matthews now curls into the far post where Greg Smith heads it back to the edge of the 6-yard box, but everyone had gone beyond that, and Curzon are able to bring it out through Andrew Watson and Jonathan Hunt. Another good chance for the Gingerbreads there.
Oh, it's well pulled back by Greg there. Just put perhaps everyone went a bit too far forward, but it's a good idea. We're looking sharp. And free kick.
And the Gingerbreads winning another free kick. This time it's just outside the Curzon penalty area. Dion Michael knocked the ball down the line for fellow substitute Liam Dickens, and Dickens was bundled over just about on the corner of the Curzon penalty area. Jack McGovern holding on to the ball as the referee talks to the Curzon wall, and he doesn't have to raise his voice because they started off by standing only about 2 yards off the ball.
They did indeed, yeah. I don't think any bus coming, going back 10 yards, but the big boys have come forward. We've got a good chance here.
Dion Michael's beyond the far post. We've got Greg Smith in there as it's laid low. An effort from Dickens that rattles off Phil Watt, unfortunately. Very well worked free kick. That was just played back to Liam Dickens. He had a chance to wind up the shot. It was goal bound without doubt, but just coming off Phil Watt's back.
Well, he's kept it down as well. Pity it hit Phil. He could do with blocking at the other end, but it's looking good. We're on top at the moment.
Greg Smith up for a free header, but didn't really need to have put that where he did, and allows Curzon to win the throw just 5 or 6 yards inside their own half, but they give the ball away. Alex Simmons winning it, and then Greg Smith putting out a foot to win the ball back. Simmons bundled into again from behind, and that's twice in the last 2 or 3 minutes that Alex Brown has done exactly that. Now the referee's kept his cards in his pocket all afternoon, and those are the sorts of things that we've seen all too often. Referees pointing out that a player has committed 3 innocuous fouls in a very short space of time.
This is it, the consistency for the referees. Difficult job from all. There wasn't too much in it, but I think somebody's going to think something to think about now, and he's looking very, 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 very dangerous. So hoping to get something for this free kick.
Liam Dickens with the free kick into the penalty area. Greg Smith up for it, but it's well cleared by the visiting defence. Knocked back in by Laurie Wilson. Out for a goal kick. As the Gingerbreads putting a lot of pressure in that penalty area now. Bodies in there all over the place, and that was a neat ball in from Wilson.
It was, yeah. I actually thought it was a corner from here, but obviously the referee's well placed. But getting on top, still on top.
Just inside the last 10 minutes here at the Measure with Gravity FM 97.2. It's Grantham Town against Curzon Ashton. 1 apiece now. Grantham trailing to a goal in the first half. It wasn't in the first half, it was just in the second half. The first few minutes of the second half there, Dave, that Grantham trailed, but a good goal getting Grantham back. They're on the defensive now as a free kick's lofted in to the edge of the Gingerbreads penalty area. A good win by Andrew Watson, but Dion Michael just easing his player away from the ball, and Jake Turner able to take that very, very comfortably.
Yes, Dion stood his ground very well there, so made it difficult for their attacker.
that was an obvious push in the back there. One of the more obvious pushes that we've seen this afternoon, giving Curzon a free kick and relieving the pressure midway inside their own half. And that's hit long for Niall Cummins. Cummins getting away from Dion Michael, but not able to get any purchase on his shot from quite wide. And good positioning by Jake Turner, just picking the ball up comfortably. Turner's position has been very good today.
It has, yeah. It's done really well against it. He's coming for Dan, so he'll be looking to keep his place.
And his clearances have got a lot of distance on him, on them. Finding Greg Smith there with that long clearance, probably 25 yards out. Not quite sure who Sam Persico thought he was knocking that ball forward for, but Ben Fairclough was never going to get up for one that was about 8 foot high.
I was saying he needs to go another 10 foot ahead, been for a shout. Poor old boy.
But those substitutions that the Gingerbreads made, Alex Simmons up front, Dion Michael at the back, and Liam Dickens in the centre of midfield, seem to have changed the dynamic of the Grantham team.
It does, yeah. Ruffled a few feathers in the Curzon outfit, and don't have to work a bit harder now. So yeah, we're looking quite lively.
And the front line now, Greg Smith there, just coming back into his own half to pick the ball up. And that makes the defenders think a little bit about what are they going to do. Smith's putting himself about a lot now.
He is, yeah. His work rate's top notch, and so Curzon have a little bit more to think about. Although they're on attack at the moment, a bit of a late one there. I think we could be seeing a yellow card in.
Was a late challenge there from. I think actually it was Jack McGovern. Was it Jack? No, it was Laurie Wilson that caught the player after the ball had been played down the Grantham left-hand side, and it looks as though Wilson is going to be the first of the Gingerbreads players to go in the book this afternoon with 39 minutes gone. Indeed, he does. Mr. Richardson shows him a yellow card. Not a malicious challenge, but it was certainly a little bit late.
Yeah, just a little bit late, so deserving of the yellow card.
And Curzon now look like they're making changes. A couple of substitutions for the visitors. Matthew Warburton coming off. Didn't quite spot who else came off there, Dave, but they've brought on Matthew Kay. And again, I love it when players come on and then don't turn their back to you. So if you don't spot the board, which is nothing like the Premiership boards here, as a free kick is floated again into the Gingerbreads penalty area. No Curzon head on the end of it, and that just drops very, very nicely very nicely there for Jake Turner.
I was just going to the yellow card going. I think it might have been Scott Matthews actually, because there was 2 fouls committed. But I think he's shown a yellow to Scott Matthews.
I think it was Matthews rather than Wilson that he called across.
I think so.
No Curzon head on the end of it, and that just drops very, very nicely lots of challenge. Hackenburton outside his penalty area, but manages just to get enough of a touch on it to take the ball away from Fairclough. That was just so close there, Dave.
It was. I thought it was in. Good hassling again by Ben Fairclough. He's very pacey.
It is, but given an offside there for
tracking back there. A bit
tracking
late.
back. Yeah, that's one that assistants seem to be very, very hot on this season, having seen where the player has started the run from. So you saw there that when Fairclough came in to challenge for the ball, he seemed as though he was onside by a good 5 or 6 yards.
He did, yeah. When the ball's first played, that's when it counts. So the linesman's in good position, or assistant in good position, and must have tracked back a good 5 or 6 metres there, but not fast enough, I'm afraid.
And Curzon now trying to take on the Gingerbreads defence. Ryan Brook stumbling over his own feet. But Scott Matthews gave the ball straight back to the visitors, and it's now with substitute Jordan Wright. His deep cross being picked up by fellow substitute Matthew Kay, but Kay's coming all the way out to the touchline with Sam Persico with him. Tries to nutmeg Persico, but Persico turns and beats him. Finds Alex Simmons with a nice short pass inside from McGovern. Back to Persico, who's got the time to try and hit a long clearance, but not enough distance on it. And Alex Brown heading it back into the danger zone.
Yep. Percy did win the ball back there, having given it away in the first place, and a long ball up to Ben again, but afraid his height not to his advantage.
What we just saw there, Dave, in that passage of play that's ended with a free kick to Curzon, it has to say, shows the difference that the substitutes have made. Grantham were buzzing around 5-10 yards inside the Curzon half, with Liam Dickens committing the foul in the end as Curzon are on the attack, trying to cut it back from the byline, but the Gingerbreads clearing it, and the Grantham now trying to play the neat passing football, but it's not coming off for the Gingerbreads at the moment.
Curzon looking like they're on the front foot at the moment. They've got a free kick sort of about 12 yards out, getting towards the touchline. They've got a chance to knock this in the middle, but they've certainly come back into it last 4 or 5 minutes. And
that was a very unnecessary foul as well. In fact, both of the last 2 fouls were Dickens pushing a player inside the Curzon half when there was no need to. And that one there, the ball from Sam Walker was just going to roll comfortably through to Jake Turner, but just an arm on the body from Laurie Wilson, and it's a free kick to Curzon.
Yeah, and now we're under pressure in quite a dangerous position. They've got 4 or 5 in the box. Hopefully we can deal with it comfortably and get it away. But
the free kick's level with the edge of the penalty area, and it's curled in left-footed into Jake Turner's near post, and under no pressure at all, Turner is able just to rise and pick that one out of the air. Just 3 minutes left of normal time. Probably another 2 minutes of added time given the substitutions and yellow cards as Turner clears down the left hand side. Jack McGovern gets the ball inside to Ben Fairclough. Fairclough with 3 players around him, back to I'd say it was McGovern. It was Dickens who played it inside to McGovern. We've now got 3 players out there in midfield with similar haircuts. We're definitely going to have a word with the Grantham management team about this.
We'll have to get some bleach out or something so we know who's who. It's very difficult from up here.
Turner put under a little bit of pressure there by Niall Cummins with his clearance, but Grantham winning a throw in front of the Curzon bench. Thrown up for Greg Smith. It was quite clearly foul there. Jonathan Hunt with arms all over Smith. A free kick now for the Gingerbreads and the chance to get themselves set up. It's now that I'm going to pick out which of the 3 that is. It was McGovern who was stood over the free kick. He's now left it for Wilson, with Dickens in space away to Wilson's right. But it looks as though Wilson's going to knock this in to the edge of the penalty area where Curzon again are trying to hold their line quite tight. The Gingerbreads, a lot of movement on that line, and it's in towards Smith. Smith wins the header. It was going to drop down to Phil Watt, who would have been flagged offside. I think there's the flag half went up, and Curzon clear the ball. Alex Simmons winning on that clearance and knocking it back in, and it's a goal kick to the visitors.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to drop for Watty there. I thought it was in. A bit of an optical illusion. So running the clock down now, just a couple of minutes to go. Hope we can get one last chance.
We're inside the last minute here at the Mears as Curzon bring the ball forward down the right hand side. Chris Roney looking for an opportunity, turns it inside to Samuel Walker. Walker plays it back to his central defender Jonathan Hunt. Hunt knocks a long ball down the right hand side and picks out Ryan Brook. Brook fouled there by Dion Michael, and it's another free kick to the visitors right out on the touchline as Michael challenged with Brook. These last moments, Dave, dangerous for the Gingerbreads.
Indeed, yeah, another free kick similar to where the one from the other minute. They've got a chance to knock this in. They've got more men forward now. They're probably looking to try and get a winner.
And it's going to be Sam Walker with it when he's persuaded the referee to take the Grantham wall back by another yard or 2. There's a clutch of players just outside the 6-yard box. Lots and lots of movement. Pumped in deep by Walker. Too deep. Flies over the crossbar as we move into added time. No indication from the far side of how much added time, but I would expect at least 3 minutes of added time from referee Mr. Richardson. The Gingerbreads looking to get all 3 points, having dragged themselves back into this game, looking out of it at 1-0 after just before the hour mark. But an excellent goal from Alex Simmons, who's just nodded the ball into the Curzon penalty area. But there was no black and white striped shirt on it. The second half, Dave, Grantham were quiet at first, but as the half's gone on, the Gingerbreads have certainly grown into it and are now looking good down the right hand side. Jack McGovern coming inside, looking for a pass forward for Fairclough. Fairclough's in. Ben Fairclough drives his shot, well saved by Hakan Burton. An excellent ball through there from McGovern for Fairclough. Was that the chance there?
Goal, I suppose he could have squared it, but we see the goals like that. You've got to see the whites of the goal's eyes. You've got to strike it, and it was too hot for him to handle, but unfortunately the rebound didn't go to a black and white shirt.
The Gingerbreads now looking down the left hand side. It's with Scott Matthews, found by Liam Dickens. Matthews crosses into the penalty area. Greg Smith rises at the foul post. The flag's immediately up for offside. Well, it could have been against either Smith or Fairclough, but the Gingerbreads are finishing strongly, and that's something that and Jimmy Albans and Wayne Howker always want from their side.
Yeah, I should be pleased with that. It shows that the fitness levels are up. Hopefully we can just keep going. I say there's been no indication of how long there is to go, because there's been no board gone up, but maybe a minute or 2.
It's Burton with a goal kick that's dropped 10 yards inside the Grantham half, won by Dion Michael, and it finds Alex Simmons. Simmons wins a throw-in for the Gingerbreads off Chris Rowney on the far side in front of the Grantham bench, and it's Laurie Wilson who's going to put the ball back into play.
A board has just gone up, and one fellas on the bench, it said 1 minute, so probably 1 minute of injury time from now, or extra time.
Well, from our clock, Dave, we've already played 2 minutes of
47,
added time. 47 minutes on the clock, as you say that, and it's one apiece as we're into what the referee has maybe indicated is going to be that final minute of injury time. Liam Dickens there trying to get the ball off Samuel Walker, concedes a free kick, and Walker wants to take it quicker than Alex Simmons is going to let him. That free kick 6 yards inside the Curzon half, played across square to Andrew Watson. Watson brings it into the Grantham half, looking for what could be the last chance for the visitors, and it's been played through to substitute Matthew Kay. His shot from 20 yards out, though, no pace again to really trouble Jake Turner.
Never got hold of it, did he, Graham? I think he's a bit disappointed with himself, but it's a good move, again, good one-touch football from Curzon.
It was, and there is the final whistle, and it's a point for the Gingerbreads at home to Curzon Ashton. The first goal that Curzon have conceded, the first, though, no pace again to really. They've dropped the Gingerbreads. Not really 1-0. The first half saw some nice passing from Curzon, but no goals, no real chances for the Gingerbreads. An excellent strike, putting the Gingerbreads a goal behind from Matthew Warburton at 12 minutes into the second half, and that seemed to spark Grantham up.
It did, yeah. They sort of revved up a little bit. Some good substitutions. It's paid off, and Jimmy and Wayne were pleased with the substitutions. We're pleased with all good round team effort. They've all worked very hard. So it was I think it's a fair result, a point apiece.
Alex Simmons getting the goal for the Gingerbreads. He's come on now as substitute 3 times and has shown an awful lot of pace and a good touch. Can you see him starting against Frickley on Monday?
Well, I was going to say that, Gray. Would we be looking at him for starting the game, or do they see him as an impact player? I don't know. They make these decisions, but yeah, he did well when he came on, and say he scored the goal.
Well, you've been listening to commentary from the Mears. Grantham Town against Curzon Ashton, the final score this afternoon. So now it's back to the studio. It was a 1-1 draw for the Gingerbreads.
Your community, your radio. 97.2.